All right, hey, what's up, everyone? This is Aquas, and this is the STG Weekly, episode 65. We're covering Aeternum on the Xbox Live Indie Games and other platforms, and we're going to be having the developers join us for this second episode on the Indie Month. We're going to be having Brooks and Jesse Bishop joining us we're going to be talking all about Aeternum, and they are not related.
They are not related by blood or marriage.
Well, we do get to say Brooks and Jesse Bishop as if, like, you know, they're together, like, as a couple.
And this
I don't even. Okay.
Aeternum is their baby that they make. This is games are where two men can come together and make a baby.
Is that why like developers always like talk about games as children? All right, Brooks and Jesse, explain yourself. No, just kidding. All right, so anyway, yeah, we're gonna be joined with Soda. Soda's gonna be streaming for us, and Soft Drink and Frenetic. So thanks, guys, for coming on. Of course, we got the STG Weekly crew here, and Brooks and Jesse. So yeah, looking forward to learning all about Aeternum here. So Brooks and Jesse, how you guys doing?
Great, fantastic.
You guys want to introduce yourself like we did in the fake intro, just to separate yourself, so we know which voice is which. Brooks and Jesse. Uh-oh, don't hear it.
I don't hear anything.
Soft Drink, you cursed us!
We lost him.
So I'm talking, they couldn't hear us.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, we got you. Now we got you.
We got you back.
Hi. Hello. All right, Brooks.
Okay, so I'm Brooks Bishop. I am the creator, programmer, artist, developer of Aeternum.
Jesse Bishop. I've worked with Brooks Bishop on a lot of projects, and Aeternum being one of them. I wrote all the music for it and spent a lot of...
I think it gets just dropped again.
Yep, they did. Darn it. Yeah. There's a problem with this call. Yeah, roll the trailer.
Yeah.
We'll get these guys. Just start it. We don't need to watch it together.
What are we doing now?
We're rolling the trailer. It's like 3 minutes.
Okay, alright.
And I'm going to try to get these guys back in.
Okay, cool.
I'm trying to call them, but they're busy.
It occurs to me that this game has had a really big update when it had the second release on PC, I think. Because I only ever played the Xbox version before it got updated. I haven't checked it out since then.
It's really good now.
Yeah, I should really look at that.
It feels like horizontal Touhou, you know?
Yeah, it really has that vibe.
Yeah. And
I remember when it first came out on Xbox, I was actually one of the first people on the forum to play it, and it was a lot of fun, actually. Even before all the fixes, it was a lot of fun.
Hey, you guys back?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're playing the trailer right now.
Right on.
Sorry, connect there.
Hopefully, you guys' connection can remain somewhat stable.
Yeah, that was an anomaly, I think.
Okay, good.
We'll send a long wire out in a fence post or something and wiggle the cable.
Yeah. So we'll just wait for the trailer to end here. They can't hear us right now, I believe. Uh-oh. Skype same problem. Oh man, they dropped again.
Man.
Shit. Shit, fuck.
Who's hosting the call?
I am. I don't know. I mean, sometimes
Would it
there's
matter?
like... Sometimes, but...
Usually it's the callers who are the reason it drops.
sometimes like a certain user can't connect to another because of like, you know, bouncing signals out of space and crap. Because I don't know, I guess I would maybe ask soft drink the host or something.
Okay, I can try. I have no idea if it'll work, but
why don't you try? I guess.
all right. End the call and then I'll call root.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or are you guys back?
Yo.
Yeah.
We switched hosts of the call.
No, we didn't. We were going to.
Oh.
We haven't yet.
No, I think just my connection it hiccups and then Skype goes a bit.
Okay. Trailer should almost be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's
Yeah, that's
happening.
it.
Okay, cool.
Are we back?
Soda.
We're waiting for the call.
When?
Soda.
You're waiting for me?
Yeah, we back?
No. Were we ever gone?
The trailer.
Oh yeah, the trailer's done. It just got finished.
Okay. Alright, so there's a trailer. Hope you guys like that. So yeah, Aeternum. Brooks or Jesse, do you guys just want to give a kind of a introduction to your game, and we'll kind of go from there, talking about it.
Yeah, so Aeternum is just a horizontal bullet hell shooter. There's some pretty obvious inspirations, I think. It's something that I just kind of started building in my spare time as like stepping stones to bigger projects, and ended up being a thing on its own.
Okay.
Like I don't know how deep you want to go into it, but Brooks has this amazing tendency to come up with the best freaking ideas and start projects, and then come up with another idea, and the project will sit there. And this one, I was just like, nope, this is happening. This has to happen. Nope, you're not stuck. Nope.
I think that's a common development problem.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So when you're developing a game, you'll just find like, oh, this would be really cool if I took this section and then started this other thing.
Not so close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Build a lot of concepts.
Yeah.
Mm.
And this is a concept that just like really worked out, and like as you can see, like the game just turned out to be like things a lot more than just your standard, Xbox Live, bullet hell that seems to be really common. There's a lot more redeeming factors and things in it.
Oh
Not
yeah.
just gameplay, but in like visuals and stuff. It was a lot more than just, hey, let's just build a shooter kind of thing. And
Knowing that when it launched, it was $1.
yeah, it was $1.
Wow. It's
Yeah.
really. So can you talk about maybe, I noticed we were talking about like a Touhou influence. Can you speak to that a little bit more? Because this is really great. For you guys, this is like a horizontal like Touhou style shooter, right?
Yeah, that's probably the most prominent feature, would you say, about the game is it's like basically similar to like a horizontal Touhou, basically.
Yeah, so before this started, I was at the time watching a lot of Touhou replays, just because I think it's fascinating how good players can get it, something like that is pretty widely described as being really hard. But besides just being interesting to watch as a gameplay, I also thought it's just kind of beautiful visually. So I thought,
yeah.
try and build an engine just to make bullet patterns like that. So that was the most basic genesis of the game. And then just after that, I was getting into a lot of Death Smiles. So that's where they came from. Because I wanted to build something for the Xbox, of course. And when you're making for the Xbox, it has native resolutions that are widescreen. And I thought it would be better to build something widescreen to get kind of like a wider audience than to try and shove a horizontal or a vertical aspect to a widescreen like that.
Right, that's been a pretty big issue for shooting games and kind of all time.
Yeah, definitely.
So you kind of went with the Hori choice there, just to appeal, basically. I gotcha.
I think, and then shortly after this, Brooks was like, hey, let's do Tate. And, oh, dang it. let's turn our 55-inch monitor to its side and start working on that.
That's another project.
Yeah, that's another project.
Yeah, that's one thing a little bit unexplored right now in shmups is Tate for widescreen monitors.
There's been a couple indie projects actually, mostly like 1-2, a game on Shmups forum that has a 16:9 vertical aspect, and that's actually it's really neat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I really tried to look into it, and I tried to find as many as I could myself, and I found a few.
Uh-oh. You drop again?
That little stuff,
Oh.
I think displayed
Okay.
that.
You're back. Okay. Yeah, we still got you. So why don't we just get the replays going? I suppose, just for the heck of it. So let's just do a countdown real quick. The countdown is going to be 3, 2, 1, click. And we're going to be checking out, actually, Jamers, he played this game, and he's been on the show before. And he did a lunatic mode of this game, all clear with 72 million points. We're just going to be having that running, and we'll reference it as we go along here. So, all right.
Hey, have you guys seen this replay? This question's for for Jesse and Brooks.
It's coming up.
I'd assume they have. Have you guys seen this replay?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually talked with gamers after we did it to get some feedback. So it was really helpful.
We sent Jamers a package, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. He helped you out. Okay.
Yeah. So I kind of had like an ongoing contest when I first put the game out to try and play through videos like this. And Jamers was the one that beat it on Lunatic Kills, so he got a nice little prize package.
Yeah, I noticed in your on kind of the bullet points on the Aeternum page, it said lunatic difficulty as one of the features. The difficulty is so hard, even the creator can't beat it.
Yep, that's how I balanced it. I balanced it so that I could be demonic, which is the next level down, but not me.
Okay. I say, all right, let's get this trailer going. All right, so I'm gonna do countdown.
Replay.
Yeah, replay. 3, 2, 1, click. Okay, so we got that going. All right, so what else should we go into about the game now?
I love the music that you did. It's like the chiptune style too. Not only like the. Can you talk about how that was important to match like kind of the sprite art too?
Exactly. See, that was a conscious decision on my part because I built the sprite art because I'm not really that great an artist. I can get by, but pixel art is something I can actually do and animate. So I wanted to play into that strength. But at the same time, it's kind of like HD effects with the particles and everything, and the UI. So I wanted to kind of capture that contrast of the pixel art with the HD aspects and try and get that to the music, which is where I.
Yeah, I've worked with projects Brooks prior to this, musically at least, and Brooks put together like a mix CD for me. Right, this is what I'm working on. These are some influences and stuff like that. So if we could get basically like bridge the gap, try to do like the game is sprite art with HD effects, and the music would pretty much have to be similar to that. I could go into my same old live drums and stuff like that, but the leads and basically like the main melodies of the song were mostly all going to be in chiptune format. And I've written chiptunes before, so it was a little easier to go into than having to learn the entire thing.
Yeah, so this is Archibald, the first mini boss, and I kind of wanted to get him in there to kind of make the game kind of crazy, just right off the bat, because it's playing Swift, right? That shoots bullets at you. So this is actually kind of a nod to one of my other inspirations when I first started this game, which is it's a tiny little indie jam bullet hell called Bottom Squid by Ted Lauterbach.
Ooh.
A Botan Squid. Never heard of it.
I'll have to check that out.
Great art,
Cool.
but I really loved it, and it was really influential to me. So the boss of that one is just a big squid. So that's kind of nice.
Now we have these kitties.
Yeah, I love the shoot 'em up influence that you got going on, and it's more so than in Touhou games, I think, where it's like more focused on the characters, whereas you do have the multiple characters too, but Touhou is like, you know, enemies and stuff were usually pretty similar, but I like that you guys kind of got that shoot 'em up style going, and you can't go wrong with, you know, teacups and, you know, whatnot going on.
So can you talk some more about the plot of Aeternum a little bit? I think it's
developed pretty much as a throwaway. I just needed something to get Desert moving.
mm-hmm.
So I came up with your friend is missing thing really fast. And then in dialogue, I brought in a friend of mine, Graves, who wrote all the dialogue for the game, and he really touched out there from him.
It came up with a lot more of the universe and a lot of ideas of like, oh, we can now do this and we can do this and this leaves this open for this and that kind of thing. And he really fleshed it out and, you know, made a lot of future stuff possible. We wanted to keep on going on for years.
That's an interesting point because, you know, the Touhou series, I feel like we're going to keep on comparing it, but, you know, the characters are such a prominent thing. Was that the idea? It was like, maybe people will start making art for the characters in this game and stuff. The Aeternum fans will come out.
Yeah, we've seen some fan art so far, you know. There's been a couple people I know, for personally, somebody from a forum sent me some bead art, and somebody has a
Because you're breaking up again.
Yeah.
But the artwork is pretty standout, I think, in this game for what it is.
Yeah, it's really good. Really
I like the pixel art and the background art. The character portraits are for the most part. I don't want to say. I don't really want to say solidly good, but they're definitely like decent.
Yeah, I don't think I'm terrible. I can get by. Plus, I was free.
yeah.
Well, what's really neat, I'd love to see if maybe Zoom has seen this and kind of like a American answer to Touhou.
I have no idea.
If I talk to him, I'll bring it up.
Oh yeah, that was Candid Sky, the artist. Just a little trivia. She's named after Vasily Kandinsky, the artist.
Yeah, every name, almost every name in this game has
Oh no.
No. Oh no.
dude.
All right, well, you're back. oh man.
This is rough.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you're good now.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, so you want to talk about the different difficulties? I thought I heard you say you balanced the lunatic because Brooks couldn't beat it, or what was it? Uh-oh.
This is not good.
All right, so we lost them. Then they're back again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we move into the main interview questions, or are we cool to keep doing freeform stuff?
We could probably move into the interview questions since that's probably going to tap in. That'll probably tap into everything else we want to talk about. So.
Okay, so all right. Well, I'll start with the first question. So, guys, to let you know about these questions. So these questions are from 1985. They were asked in a kind of a Japanese zine, and they're basically the same questions from Japan put to Japanese directors, such as like from Square Enix, from like Rising, Cave, and whatnot. And so they worked well last time, so we're going to use some of them this time. So I'm going to start with the first question. Okay. First question is, how or why did you become a video game designer?
Okay. we don't hear you.
We got nothing.
STG Weekly, great show.
Soft drink jinxed us. Okay. Oh.
No, you mean soda.
I think we both jinxed it.
Yeah.
So we can pretend to answer for them. Or...
To be fair, I mean, there's no way that any of us could have predicted the connection problem. The audio thing, maybe that was a jinx, but I think that that I paid for that already. So
we're just kind of waiting for their connection to stabilize here.
So, here.
Okay, we're getting something. Yeah. What's up?
Hello.
All right, we got you. All right, let's
Okay. Okay, let's try this question again. The next one was, how or why did you become a video game designer?
So I would have to put that back to 1994 when I first played Final Fantasy VI.
Okay, is he breaking up or?
is there more to that answer, or are you guys gone?
This is getting worse and worse.
Wow, we've had connection problems on the show before, but I don't think we've ever had anything quite like this.
Oh man.
Okay, let's get back to the question then.
Okay.
Which was, how or why did you become a video game designer?
Yeah, so my first real experience of wanting to actually design games was after I played Final Fantasy VI. That was the one that really did it for me. Just the whole storytelling and emotions that it can elicit was big.
Yeah, I mean that's a good one.
Yeah. So a lot of my first attempts at kind of working on things were, of course, an RPG, which is like the last thing you want to start making when you're just starting out as a game developer.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
How did that? But I noticed. Did you take those plot elements and kind of feel and take them over for Aeternum then?
No, this one was Aeternum's plot was really just kind of I just needed something to get the characters moving. So it's really simple. I don't think that really pulls from anything that I've worked on before.
I see.
Plus Aeternum's plot was really influenced by Nate, who wrote the dialogue.
Oh,
so
okay. So
that wasn't
maybe
even. Yeah, so that wasn't even completely me.
Oh, that's cool.
FF6 was Kefka, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Everyone rants about 7, but 6 is where it's at.
Yeah.
That's interesting that you were inspired by that. Definitely a kind of a complex game, and I can see why that would be like a big deal. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that game has so many good things going together and whatnot. So, next question. Or I mean, does Jesse want to answer that as far as getting into game composing?
Yeah, you need to call him and add him.
Oh, is he separate still?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay, he's got his phone too. Okay, sorry about that.
By the way, your voice sounds much better.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. Should have done this from the start.
That's the way it works in STG Weekly and shmups. You can always restart and play again, and never give up.
All right, welcome back, Jesse.
Hey, thanks.
All right, we hear you.
Yeah, this is great.
So our question for you, Jesse, was how or why did you become a video game designer?
Or in this case, get involved with composing and art.
Yeah, it's always been about the music, in my opinion. And I mean, I've always been into video games. I've been collecting video games and stuff for a long time, and I just found myself not really into music so much if it wasn't from a game. And I would, as a kid, just start recording music from my Nintendo and just listening to my tapes constantly of like Ninja Gaiden or Mega Man. And, I want to get to the next level just so I could record the next song kind of thing. And so I've always wanted to be getting game music and I started doing chiptune stuff in the late 90s and moving on from there. And then when I met Brooks, basically it just clicked. You know, I had a skill set and he had a skill set, and we figured we could combine them and start putting games together.
Wow, that's really amazing. What made you go from the leap of listening to music and being able to make chip tunes? Like, which programs happened, and like, how did that process go?
Well, you know, as I came from a musical family, you know, so my mother's plays piano and guitar and all sorts of stuff. My dad as well, in a lesser extent. But so I mean, we always, you know, I was putting piano lessons as a kid and stuff. And so when later in high school, when becoming a musician was kind of a cool thing to do, I think that was like a peer pressure kind of catalyst. I wanted to be the cool kid too, so I started getting into music. And then, you know, all my whole, you know, history before that of video game music, I just decided to start looking into writing music on the computer. And I found this piece of software called Fast Tracker 2 that I used. And, you know, I was able to basically get my video game systems to glitch out and flatline and make these really weird sounds. And then I would take those and, you know, record those sounds and chop them up and then use those sounds to basically write kind of like false chiptunes in a way. And then I discovered this huge community of chiptune people out there and kind of assimilated with them. And yeah, that's how that's how it be.
Wow, great
Awesome.
story. So the second question is, what are you most scared of?
Let's see. I have a big problem with like deep open water.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
But it's
Can
weird
you
because
swim?
yeah, but it's mostly that it comes out in video games. Because like I used to play EverQuest a lot, and EverQuest had a lot of deep ocean areas, and even just swimming in those in the game was rough for me.
Mm.
Oh,
Wow.
Do you know who has that one? Are you guys familiar with Lualilia?
No.
He does video game demos on YouTube, and he was kind of he has a big fear of open water as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How about you,
Jesse?
Jesse? What are you most scared of?
What am I
What gives you
most
the
scared
lead?
of?
Yes.
Basically, I don't know. That's a really hard one. I was thinking about it while Brooks was talking, and then all I could imagine was like being in deep open water and being scared shitless.
What?
What am I
Both
most
of
scared
you?
of is I guess you know, I don't know. You know, I'm a family man, so I guess in real life my fear would be like losing family or something.
I see.
As far as game development goes, I don't know. You know, I've already, you know, it's not, you know, I don't know. That's a hard one, man.
Like, what if your like hard drive crashed or
Oh
like,
yeah, that's happened though. You know what I mean? And that feeling that you get in your throat, like that everything that you just worked on is gone.
that can be a thing when you're dealing with, you know, digital.
Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah. And I'm a really horrible archivist, so actually I have my friends. I'll send them stuff and be like, "Hey, hold on to this for me. I might want it later."
That's really good. Or safekeeping. All
Yeah.
right.
Cool.
The next question for you guys: what is the ultimate fast food?
Well, we're both native San Diegans, so I think I got to go with the Mexican food.
Like
Yeah.
Coco's. I've heard
So
of
good
Coco's.
down here.
What is your
Yeah,
favorite?
plain and simple.
What's your favorite Mexican place in San Diego?
There's all sorts of these little tiny taco shops that are run by these, you know, families and just mom and pop kind of establishments, and you really like have to try them all. There's like a term for them here in San Diego. We call them Bertos because they're always like Albertos, Alibertos, Albertacos, all sorts of stuff. And so you just want to try them all, and usually, you know, you'll find one you like, and you'll just hit that place constantly. And
Wow.
and,
You'll find your
it's-
own
we're kind of-
personal Berto.
yeah.
Wow.
Brooks
Food in
Bertos,
San
Jesse
Diego,
Bertos.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's the shit.
Brooks and I are both taco shop kind of.
Cool. All right. What the next one is? Do you have a reoccurring dream?
I got one. I have a recurring dream. I'm a video game collector, and I've been collecting for a long time, and I have a decent collection. But I always have that dream of being at a swap meet and finding like the Holy Grail, you know, like the Sega Neptune or something like that.
What's your personal grail there, Jesse?
And then, I have all sorts of them. I've found a lot of them, you know, so now it's like I don't go in looking for something anymore. It's just like if I happen to come across these things, I'm going to be stoked about it. But ideally, you know, it would be something undiscovered, my personal grail would be if I found something out there that nobody knew about, like a really weird Sega system or a Nintendo add-on that never made it to development that somehow ended up at a swap meet or something. And in my dreams, I'll find that. And I'll be so excited, and I'll wake up, and I'll just be like, right, dude, I am so stoked right now. Oh, crap, it was a dream. You know? And that happens often.
I wonder if other collectors have that dream.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, when you say collecting, do you mean sealed collecting or just game collecting? Because the sealed game thing is a very big deal for some people, and it has some strong... detractors, let's put it that way.
The first thing I do personally, I play games, you know, and so sealed games aren't worth anything to me personally. Yeah, so when I come across sealed games, which I do from time to time, I put them honestly, like I hate to be a reseller, but if I can get $300 for a sealed copy of Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers or something like that, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to use part of that money to buy a loose copy, and the rest of the money to go back out to the swap meet and try to find some more stuff.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, that's how to do it. I do not approve sealed game collecting. It defeats the point.
No, that's hoarding at that point, and you know if it's not. I mean, that's the whole thing. Games are meant to be played, and that's where the art and the beauty of the game is in the gameplay, not in sitting in a box. You know. I could have 100 books, but if I refuse to open them, they're worthless.
That's right.
How about you, Brooks? What's your recurring dream?
Oh, this is terrible, but my dreams seem to have this reoccurring theme of me being back in school and failing for some reason.
Oh.
Yeah.
I totally have those dreams, like.
Yeah.
Or like I forgot to do the test, or like I'm not graduating because I missed a class or something.
Yeah. That just keeps coming up.
Yeah, I hate those. Okay, here's another one. What was the first game you ever played? Or maybe the first game that really got you into games? Maybe we can reword it like that.
So my parents actually, one of the first things they got was an Atari 2600. So that's probably the first thing I actually played, even though I don't really remember it as well. But we still got that. I break it out every now and then.
Wow.
Play some Dig Dug or E.T.
E.T. Yeah.
That E.T.
Come back in a big way.
Yep, that E.T.
The thing about that game though is if you know how the game works and you actually spend some time with it, it's not a bad game. It's not a horrible game. It's not that. Yeah, it's not the game that everybody says destroyed an entire, bad kind of thing. Like, but the thing is it shouldn't have been an ET game. They should have just called it like Neck Monster or something, you know?
Yeah.
Neck Monster.
The first game I ever played.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the first game I ever played was just Super Mario Bros. On the Nintendo. My parents brought it home for me and my brother, and to me, I thought it was a VCR with a remote that was hooked up with a wire, and then I realized my brother was actually controlling the guy on the screen, and it blew my mind. Yeah. And so that would be me. Pretty generic story there.
That's pretty good. Pretty good story. All right, next question is, what is the thing you want most in the world now?
I would really like just to be financially set. Not rich, but just to get by making video games. That's my dream.
Very good thought.
What I would like most in the world is for Israel to, I'm just kidding. Gonna go socio-political. No, ideally, if Brooks and I have talked about this a bunch, and I think that's the overall goal of he and I can put something together where we're just taken care of, like, yeah, it'd be awesome to get a Super Meat Boy or something like that, but that's not the goal. What as far as game development goes, as far as what I like doing is, if he and I could have a little studio somewhere where I could have my music stuff set up and we could just jam together and bounce ideas off each other and then also make a living at it.
That is really good. Keep the dream, guys. This game is really great. What? Is there any game designer today? Oh, sorry. Yeah, go for it, guys. Go for it. Get in the question.
I was asking, if you don't mind me asking, what else have you guys worked on, or what are you working on? You mentioned that you might have another project which was vertical. Can you shed some more light on that, or?
I've got a whole bunch of projects, and they're all in various states of disrepair.
Oh, I know how that is. Like, you start working on something, then you're like, oh, this is a cool idea. Let me go work on that, and then you just kind of get all sidetracked.
So I think I've got at least like 3 different ideas that are shmup related.
Oh, awesome.
Keep in mind, like, when Brooks says ideas, he doesn't just mean like, oh, I've got this idea written down. Like, he's already started working on engines and has a lot of stuff cooking, like playable demos and stuff of his ideas that he has. And there's going to be a lot of stuff in the future, as long as we can allocate enough time. You're going to see a lot of Wasted Brilliance games soonish, I think, sooner than later.
Well, that's really exciting. I look forward to it.
My problem is I get to a point where I've got like tech going, like an engine and stuff is playable, but at that point it becomes a lot about the content. Like, you need art assets, you need script, you need all of that other stuff, and that's going to be most of the game, really. So it gets harder from that point on than just me jamming some code out and making things show up on screen,
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting perspective, actually, because it seems like there's a lot of people who want to provide art, but they only want to provide a certain kind of art. They want to make art for the game that they want to make, and then you have kind of the reverse problem where you have an engine that you want to make, but you don't know what kind of art you need.
Yeah.
As far as mechanics go, like almost every game that Brooks has come up with ideas for have been really unique as far as like they're almost like a not a like can I talk about the La Mulana type game?
Sure.
I'm getting permission. Hold on. Okay. So Brooks started working on this game that's in a lot of ways like it's a platformer puzzle kind of game that's like La Mulana, kind of like Spelunky with a lot of more puzzle solving aspects to it, and it's got role playing elements, but not really in the level up side. But it's so unique, it's to itself, and it's not like there's any other games out there that are doing what he started working on here. But it's like he said, it's pretty rad, but it's all down to assets and stuff, and finding somebody to do the right artwork, and in a timely manner is one of the most difficult things to get going. It's progressing.
Like I said, excited to hear you guys are working on more stuff. So.
Yep, definitely.
So the next question I've got for you guys is, are there any other game designers today that you've got your eye on, or any past game designers that you take inspiration from, or et cetera, et cetera?
Jesse already mentioned Super Meat Boy a little earlier, and so I got to say, I think modern developers, Edmund McMillan, I think, is one of the ones that I watch really closely, because he's he came up from nothing, just worked hard, and is now putting out hits and doing pretty well.
Yeah, right. It kind of shows you that you can make it, right?
Yep. It's just about working hard.
As far as somebody I'd like to give a shout out to, like, I know they're kind of corporate, and right now, but I think Way Forward is getting back into making just fun games, period, and every single Way Forward game I've played has just been a fun game. I even got that Wii Batman game that they put out, and it's just boiled down, bare bones, fun game. It doesn't try to set out to do amazing things and stuff, but I think the guys working over at Way Forward are really, have a good business model, and
Well, Way Forward or the guys that split off and made Yacht Club, though.
Oh yeah, Yacht Club as well with Shovel Knight. That was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Oh, they broke off from Way Forward?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's how they got the Jake Kaufman Vert connection going.
I know I'm still surprised that Way Forward is doing Wonder Momo. It's coming up a game they're doing, which is an arcade game. Which is an arcade game I play on my stream.
Yeah.
And then just like when I heard that was coming back, I was like, what the hell? But
yeah.
You made it happen. They're Aquas. They're like, you watch this guy's Aquas.
It's a game I don't think anybody knows that they're bringing it back, so it's just weird, but I like it.
That's cool.
Whoa. STG Weekly, driving away into the future. Alright, so we might have some more questions. I do want to get back into the game a bit, just to hear you guys talk about some more, because...
the next questions, we'll do one more question then, and we'll say, what qualities are necessary to be a game designer?
Well, what happened?
It was just Frenetic's hiss disappeared.
Oh.
Yeah. So we got...
Let's see. Well, I think for me, in getting Aeternum done, playing to my strengths was really important, because I knew what I could get away with art-wise, and that's why it's the pixel art mostly, because I can do that and make it look okay, rather than trying to push hard and do like HD assets. So that's where that came from.
Right, gotcha. Jesse?
As I'm, I have absolutely zero to do with the programming and very little to do with the actual, buildup of the game. But
how about this? What qualities are necessary to be like a video game composer? Let's change it up for you.
Well, like one thing that I really had to learn was that it's not my game, and I think that that's one thing that a lot of people get stuck up on. Is this is definitely Brooks's game, and and so I actually took my computer out of my house, came over and set up in his house, and would come over every other night, and we would just start working on music, and at the same time he's working on the game and stuff. So if I came up with something that was pretty clever, he would try to get the level to match to the song, or vice versa, and if I honestly came up with a lot of duds, and I had to take a lot of criticism on that, like something maybe that I was really proud of that I wanted to use. If it just didn't work for the game, it didn't work for the game, and so I don't know, I was able to overcome that, and I think
wow.
So yeah, it's just right there.
It's cool that you purposely go to work in proximity, because I've heard more known composer interviews, like from Square or something, they're given like a paragraph about like, this part in the game, and it's like compose it like this, and like, they come up with the product and they don't really have the rapport with the other person. But when you have such a small team with these indie teams and stuff, you can have that rapport, and I think it definitely helps for shmups, because the small team thing definitely makes shmups a cohesive thing, and it seems to be just the whole archetype.
Yeah, like Brooks and I are good friends IRL, and it's just really awesome that like I can say things, they're not going to hurt his feelings. If he pulls something up, and I'll just be like, dude, that's totally butt. He'll we'll work on it and stuff. But there's a lot of other, not to compare Aeternum to other indie games, because but there's a lot of games out there, especially indie games, that will get one or two songs and they'll loop through the whole shooter. You know what I mean? Like, and it gets a little annoying at times. A lot of people, I've watched streams where a lot of people just automatically go straight to the music and they turn it off. And so Brooks and I really came up with a conscious decision that, we have the time, might as well write a unique song for every single level, a unique song for every single boss, a unique song for every single dialogue. bubble, and we put together this whole thing. It all in all ended up being about, I want to say about 25 separate, songs, and a lot of those were the more background songs during dialogue bubbles and stuff like that. But
well, you heard it here, guys.
It was all.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but after you beat the boss, it actually changes to like a different style version of the same song as the stage.
Yeah, so.
Oh, neat.
I'll take the melody from the stage song and then do like an elevator version of it.
Something to kind of wind the stage down after you beat the boss.
Okay. Well,
Cool. I love touches like that. I just want to say, very cool.
Getting back into the game, I guess we'll go take a shift from the questions now. We have a comment by Jamers 91 who's did the super play. He says that what's really hard about the game is when you die, it's really hard to recover because your power level is so low.
Mm-hmm.
Can you address that comment or that design? And maybe gamers can speak a little bit.
Or if you wanted to kind of talk about the game mechanics and kind of go through them, because I don't think we actually talked about that really, and kind of how the game is intended to be played out. I mean, Jamers pretty much kind of showed us, but I'd like to hear your guys' take on, or at least kind of your explanation. We didn't talk about it.
Yeah, so your shot power is the little red tokens that you pick up from the popcorn enemies, and each token brings you up until you get to 400 points of power. So as you go up in power, that increases your shot type. So there's only really one shot type, but it gets more powerful as you go, mostly in a spread. So your main shot is the most powerful, and the spread that you get from more power is far less powerful, but it's enough to take the popcorn enemies out. So it's really desirable to have that spread. So then when you get hit, you lose 75% of the power that you've accumulated, or all of it, but it spits out the 25 remaining, so you can pick it back up. So that's actually something that I kind of worked on, because I was having trouble making it a little more accessible to people, because generally people, knowing the audience of the Xbox Live indie games, don't have as much experience with shoot 'em ups like this, especially not bullet hells, because this is a really kind of a niche game, especially for that platform. So I was trying to think of something to make it a little easier than just losing everything. So the thing that I hit on was actually just steal from Sonic, right?
Yeah.
So when you get hit, all your rings pop out, and the only way you actually die is to get hit when you have 0. So I think that actually makes it a little easier, because then the stages become about trying to keep as much power as you can to go through the stage. So when you get to the boss, you want to have the full 400 so that you can keep that as a war, like a war of attrition, to actually beat the boss. So to help with that is actually there's a bomb mechanic, and bombs cost 50 power, and you'll see Jamie's use them quite often because they're really actually super helpful, since they, for a few seconds, they just clear a circle around you and keep any bullets from entering that.
Yeah.
So spending 50 power to do that is a lot better than losing, down to 100, getting hit from full, right?
Right. Yeah, I like that.
Unfortunately, I think that was one of kind of my failures, because it's really hard to teach people just through play how the bombs work, since you start with 0 power, and you need 50 power to spend on a bomb.
Yeah.
So people hitting buttons at the start of the game don't realize that there's a bomb to begin with, and then from there it's just downhill and getting people to realize that it's there and that it's useful.
Well, at least there was the tutorial which explained it.
Yeah, but people don't play that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, who plays a tutorial nowadays?
I've seen quite a few Let's Plays where people just jump right in and they go straight to Lunatic without anything.
I want to throw in on that. Right as soon as we put the game out, somebody within a few hours downloaded the demo and did one of the worst playthroughs ever. They just skipped the tutorial. They got destroyed right at the very first sub-boss. And then that video was posted right after our trailer was, and it got way more hits than our trailer. And it just got to the point where we put a nice little message to the guy, hey, would you mind doing we'll give you a full version of the game if you would mind just going ahead and going through the tutorial and doing another one on your channel. And he just went ahead and shut down comments, froze the video. It's still up and it's got just an obscene amount of hits on it. And we're just like, no.
Wow.
Oh, what
Really?
douchebaggery.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's life.
Douchebaggery.
That's not cool.
That's something you have to deal with, though, I guess, these days. It's kind of your game getting misrepresented, huh? Wow.
Yeah. If the game's actually, if you follow the tutorial, all the, what the buttons do and when to use stuff. The game is actually not the most difficult, especially on easy.
That sounds annoying because
people
you
were
do have
getting the idea that the game.
Because it sounds like these mechanics, the coins, and it sounds especially tailored to new players, and if it's kind of sad if it's getting ignored, that type of thing. So
yeah, just totally gets disregarded. I think in one of the updates, Brooks did a little something to like, hey, you're gonna wanna play this tutorial or something like that. So hopefully that.
Yeah, it pops up a screen the first time you play it and say, hey, you should really check out the tutorial. You've never played this before. So.
Nope. Skip.
Cool. And then you get the the power level reaches 400, but then you can get a X multiplier going, right? Or is that not in the story mode?
That's not in the story mode. Okay. So in the regular play, after you reach 400 power, instead of power tokens dropping, you get point tokens. So the point tokens are just standard Touhou style. They're worth more the further you get to the right of the screen, just to work on your score, and they're multiplied by your graze counter. So it's a smaller multiply, but grazing increases the value of points, of the point tokens. So then, once you get 100 point tokens, you get a panic. So a panic is basically just in regular STG lingo is a auto bomb. Mm-hmm. So you get hit and it eats the panic rather than knocking out all your power. So they're really valuable.
It's a cool system, and it's like, once again, comparing to Touhou, but all the Touhou games have their different systems, and you've made one that's different as well, and horizontal, and it's pretty cool that you managed it. That's a question I kind of have is, what was the challenge of making the horizontal bullet patterns? Like, do you start programming them like horizontally or vertically and then flip it, or what's the challenge there?
I did everything horizontally.
Okay.
And to actually make it easier on myself, what it is in game, like in the code, the axis system is actually, the left of the screen is 0 and the right of the screen is full 1280. Mm-hmm. But the vertical axis, 0 is in the middle. It's in the center of the screen vertically. So that way it was actually really easy for me to mirror things vertically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I thought a lot about that, trying to get kind of parity back and forth as to where I could mirror things or go zigzag back and forth, or to even intentionally off balance things. So that was part of it.
Yeah, I mean, because horizontal games they play with the mind so differently than a vertical one.
Yeah.
But it seems like you got the the spread of the patterns nicely managed with the hitbox. That it's not too overwhelming, because that can be a thing at the horizontal game, is when the patterns are too complex, you can't read them the same as a vertical.
Yeah.
Just I guess the way the mind works.
I did put an update out after it initially came out that actually made bullets more visible. So always working on that. And your hitbox is super tiny. It's almost non-existent. It's almost like the carrier is almost just a point, and then the bullets are the hitbox.
Yeah, I actually remember when, because I was one of the first people who played this on shmups, and I was giving some feedback in your release thread, and I made a couple comments about the bullet visibility. So I was actually really happy to see that you got an update out pretty quickly about that. That was nice.
Yeah.
Because that's definitely something that, if you're, I'm actually programming a game myself right now, and at the moment it's just a little tiny project that I've been working on for class. We'll see if it gets any bigger, but it's something where
if you need music,
I can understand. There's nothing yet.
No, I'm just kidding.
But it's definitely one of those things where it's like if you make it yourself and you're used to how the bullets are colored, and you can clearly tell what's going on. But then if someone else plays it, they're like, what's happening here? Is everything's the same color? I don't know what to do. So
What do?
There's a lot of design theory and color theory you actually really want to think about when you're doing that, I found. So I actually made a lot of the backgrounds kind of intentionally desaturated so that I could make the bullets like super bright and white, and then put a bloom filter on top of the whole thing to make them even more visible on top of the backgrounds.
Yeah.
Really great job. Did we get the Jamer's point get sufficiently referred to?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
About recovering.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I do think that it is. I like the way that the system is implemented, but I do think that it does feel kind of strict in the sense that if you are in the wrong spot and you die and you can't really recover to the same way, like to the same extent that you would be able to in some other games.
Well,
but it's definitely a positional thing.
It would matter too. The difficulty you're playing. I'd imagine.
Yeah, definitely.
Those recoveries will probably be easier on the easier difficulties. But of course, if you're playing Lunatic, and you're doing it the intended way. Go ahead.
If you die, Brooks was going to write in a thing that would delete a random save game off of your hard drive. Sorry, sorry, guys.
When is there going to be like an official cruel game? You know.
It is. I wanna be the guy. I think. Out there.
Yeah, I want to be the guy. Or I want to be the fan game. That's even worse.
I was thinking like more malicious, like screwing up your computer or something.
Oh.
There actually was one. There was like a shooter that actually.
Yeah.
It took. The enemies were actually files on your computer.
That's
so
right.
When you shot them.
That's
you shot
right.
them file. Yeah.
I've heard of this.
But that was just like some random thing.
Still an interesting concept.
I want that on Steam.
Deletes random games out of your
People
account.
download it, suddenly computers are all bricked everywhere. Some guy programmer's just sitting there laughing his ass off.
It's on sale for 1 cent.
Exactly. Just stick it in a bundle and people will buy it and people will play it just because it's on Steam.
That's funny.
Okay, cool. So we got an idea of all the gameplay mechanics in the game, and you guys got a great system. I think it's a pretty solid game.
Yeah, I tried to make it actually really simple. Like, I don't think it's as complex as a lot of even Touhou games get.
Yeah.
Eventually.
I think you did good.
It's the first effort. Yeah.
Cool. Do we want to get back to the interview questions? Frenetic, what do you think? Frenetic.
Well, his hiss is gone.
No.
So he's gone.
Yes.
No, these guys are boring. I'm out of here.
He's usually barbecuing. Go ahead.
I love how his hiss goes away, and I'm like, what went wrong? Like, what did the call drop? Because you get so used to it, and then let's see. Let me look through. Let me look through here. So we've kind of addressed a lot of these. Let's see. Do you play a lot of games like outside of your own work, or like you mentioned that you like RPGs? Do you play a lot of other stuff as well, or is there a certain genre that you really feel an affinity for, or?
I play a lot of stuff. We didn't get to the favorite game question, but I was gonna say, my top is Final Fantasy VI. And then my second is La Mulana.
Okay.
And my third is Dwarf Fortress.
Oh wow, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think we're covering a big spread.
Yeah.
So I play a lot of different stuff. Try to take as much influence as I can from all sorts of different things, because I think my approach to development now is I like to try and take disparate elements from other things and put them together and see how they work. like the ring mechanic in Sonic in a shooter, see how that works out.
Yeah.
And it turns out it's actually, I think it's something that makes it a little more accessible.
Would you consider the horizontal aspect of Aeternum to be like that?
No, that was more of a marketing thing.
Okay.
I wanted to fill the screen, and that was the best way to do it.
Gotcha.
But I think it works out.
Right.
Jesse, how about
Pretty
you?
much, I'm constantly playing, like, as a game collector. I've just reached about 2,500 games in my collection, so it's really fun to go through things and just pick out games at random and see what the other day I was playing Mutant League Hockey. I just got that one, and that game's awesome, but as far as newer games go, I pretty much play the opposite of what Brooks plays, so you won't see me on any Midget Fortress stuff or I got really into Daisy, I guess,
okay.
and that's a good time killer because I could hop in for a few hours and goof around on that, and Brooks won't touch it with a 10-foot pole, and so I can't get him on it, but yeah, I'm pretty much, I'll play almost anything and everything. I'm really into shooters. I've always liked shooters, so that's pretty much what I stick with. As far shooters isn't like first-person shooters. As far as like shooting games and stuff go, I think my favorite's got to be Raiden for the Atari Jaguar. That one game makes the entire system worth owning.
Wow.
But,
for the Atari Jaguar. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was on there.
It's the only scrolling shooter on that system too. And it's amazing. Actually, no, I think Trevor McFur and the Crescent Galaxy's on there too. So.
Wow.
That one sucks.
Trevor McFur. What the?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a collector. He knows these games.
Yeah, I love it. Trevor McFur. All right. Another question.
Just the box art alone, if you ever get a chance, box art is worth it.
Another question for you, Jesse. Do you have you read other interviews with people who've composed music for shooting games before, like Manobu Namiki has had several interviews where he's talked about kind of his process, and I'm just curious if you read any of that stuff.
I haven't, as far as shooting games go. I'm still really involved in a community with of the people that write music for video games and stuff, and there's a lot of common things I think that spread from game to game. I do read a lot of interviews and stuff, but I don't think I've read anything that was specifically like a shooter,
Okay.
composer. Like, I don't want to be all name dropping, so I'm gonna hold on that.
Yeah, sorry. I just asked because there's actually a couple very relatively well-known interviews with him where he talks about stuff like when people play bullet hell games, they get in kind of an adrenaline state, so they hear micro detail in music more. So he likes to add like a lot of high level detail in the sound, that kind of thing, just to kind of make it a more engaging experience. So.
And that's one thing that I think shooters have that most other genres of games don't have, is when you get hyper focused and you get totally streamlined and you're paying attention, like you literally your brain gets in a different mode, and I think you're a lot more receptive to audio and stuff. Like, I don't know if you noticed, Brooks put this really neat thing in Aeternum, which I don't think is original, but it's a really neat concept, that when you are hitting a boss, you'll hear the bullets will actually make a very low frequency bass hit.
Yeah.
So you can don't have to actually look at them. If you have a good set of headphones or a good system set up, you can actually know when you're hitting them, and also just stare at, keep an eye on your own character, so that you're out of harm's way.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's lots of little audio things like that are put in the game, to help build the overall thing. But yet that's not a bullet point, that's not something that's ever really, people notice. It's just kind of there, and it helps out a lot.
Yeah, when I play, I actually play with my feet on my subwoofer, so I can actually physically feel when I'm hitting the boss rather than just even having to listen for it.
Wow.
That's getting the feedback there.
Yeah.
Like forced feedback.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
I've heard the the thing about the heightened senses during intense parts of shmups. In fact, that was in one of the Namiki interviews when he talked about composing for Battle Gurega.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, they did talk about. He did talk about exactly just that, and it's cool that you still consider these small details even when it comes to an indie affair.
Yeah,
not to classify it so
I
broadly, but
I get a heightened sense of taste, because I like to put a beverage, like take a sip of beverage in between like the stages. I just
okay,
taste
no,
it.
you're not dodging Doom and Katsui and having a beer at the same time. That doesn't happen.
It actually
Ooh, it's even better.
it took me a while to find the noise for the shot even, because I figured there had to be something there, because it's just like good feedback for the player to know that they're shooting. So it's got to be a noise when you're shooting, but it's hard to find one that is there, but so inobtrusive because it's going to be there all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent over a few little samples and stuff for him to implement, and hey, how does this one feel? And I think one of them that we used was just this compressed kick drum that every time you hit the boss, it just sounded like a really angry techno song.
So
well.
Phenomenal. So
maybe we should.
It was a little too much, though.
Yeah.
It's like deleted ideas,
Yeah. That's it. Like cutscenes,
If you could have like a mode with like just scrapped ideas, and then it's just like it's just like a shit mode.
Yeah.
Or we could just make a new game and call I Want to Be the Shmup.
That would be a great game.
I want to be the shmup.
Oh.
One life, no continues. Just incredibly difficult patterns everywhere.
Your own custom line. Yeah.
I can't even imagine. It would be dumb.
Well, that's what those games are for.
Very first screen.
What'd you guys say?
I
I didn't catch either of those.
Did we lose them?
Anyway.
I was saying
there.
The game started out, the only thing you needed to do was just go left and you beat the game, but everybody tries to go right and it's just a hell storm.
Okay, and we've talked a bunch so far. I really like the character that rides the bike in this game. That's a great animation.
I'll tell you why you like this though, because Samantha. So her name is Samantha Clementine. She's actually based on Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens.
Oh.
So that's where, because she's the librarian.
Like Samuel Clemens, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Samantha Clementine, yeah. But she's also based on Ness from Earthbound.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So you get the hat and the bike, and then you'll notice one of her attacks is a yo-yo, and her book is a bat.
Oh.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to throw little things like that in there.
Ooh. Man, never would.
Yeah, one little Easter egg that Brooks threw into the game was he actually threw a Insane Clown Posse Juggalo reference in there.
Ooh.
If you play the tutorial, there's a drawing in the chalkboard that it says magnets. How do they work or something like that?
Yeah, it's the alchemical symbol for magnets, and it says equals question mark.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool. Nice.
Yeah, the game's filled full of that stuff.
This might be a kind of a broad question. You may or may not be able to answer it particularly well, but how do you start at a price point of like $3 in Xbox Live indie games, and how do you decide what it's worth when you go to the market?
Yeah, Xbox Live indie games is a terrible place as far as as making money goes. Because the only ones that actually really make money are the Minecraft clones. And everything else,
Heard that.
there was this really quick race to the bottom as far as pricing goes. Because as an indie game, you only get 3 price points. You get $1.
Yeah, it's $1, $3, and
$5. I think.
$5.
But Yeah. So
I see.
So people buying games on there, they think, well, these are indie games. They're not going to be worth that much. So really quickly, the only thing that actually really worked was $1. So that's what I started at, and that was a terrible idea.
I think the dollar thing backfired on us though, because I mean, I was pushing for $1. I was telling Brooks this whole time, let's make it $1, and if we can get it into as many consoles as possible for $1. And that the first week, I guess it did all right, but then like it just basically hung out with all the other $1 games, and I think people may not have taken the game that seriously because it was the same price point as, you know, the hey, look at these big jugs, you know, kind of games and stuff. So
yeah,
I was just going to
the
say,
game selection.
People don't want to buy something.
this is worth at least $5.
People don't want to spend a whole lot on things that they think are indie.
Yeah. You know, I was wondering, we were talking about with the Hangeki guys about, like, they come from, like, a dope. They went to Anime Expo, and I wonder if something might work out where we have a little, like, circle, or, like, you know how they go to Comic-Con, because they went to Anime Expo, they have a panel. Maybe, since you guys are in San Diego and are local, maybe we could work something out and present, like, a joint, like, shmup panel, and then say, hey, go buy up in the booth, you know, at Anime Expo, kind of like at Comic-Con, because that's where a lot of these doujin games, indie games come out.
Yeah.
So, would you guys be open to that in the future? Think about it. You don't have to answer right away.
What if there was a con
I
for
think
just all Western indie devs? That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah.
I think it's worth looking into.
Yeah, because you have, I mean, there's like kind of like an anime type aesthetic too, and I think that would go over well.
Yeah.
So.
ShmupCon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, ShmupCon. ShmupCon.
Sunday, and Saturday.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll add you to the list then. I might have something going next year. And yeah.
So yeah, moving on then. So yeah, $1 didn't work out for you, and then so he tried $3, and that kind of puts you in a better grouping as far as respectability of the prices goes on Xbox Live indie games. As weird as that sounds, that's kind of how it was.
It still didn't really help at all on the Xbox.
Yeah, it didn't help.
Because
Also, the game didn't get to the $3 price point. See, the moment the game was released, Brooks then started working on the PC version, and there was a lot of more stuff. I think it was a lot more difficult than expected. So in the meantime, I was working on, he was working on getting that extra boss fight at the end there, the big one, and I was working on some more music. Friends of mine were doing some remixes for the game as well and stuff. And so by the time it launched on, I think it came out on Desura first, we decided that $3 would probably be best. So in the Xbox Marketplace the same day, changed it to $3 as well. If it's going to be $3 on PC for the full thing, it's going to be $3 on Xbox as well.
Right.
I figured it was okay to bump it up since I was adding the whole extra boss and the extra modes and everything anyway. And anyone who had bought it before just got the update for free.
Gotcha. It's cool that you kind of you kind of move up as the game progresses in development as for the price point. It's kind of neat how that works.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We added so much more to the game, that I figured we both totally agreed it was way worth it. If you got played the first release version of the game versus what's available now, it's leagues better already. So
I'd say your game is definitely worth $3. I think everyone should pick it up.
Thank you.
Because I think everyone should pick it up because that's a great price, and you guys definitely have I think a fairly full-fledged game. So I definitely gets my approval. everyone
seal of approval.
That's Aeternum.com.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's available through the Humble Store, which is the best way to get it because that's the biggest cut. But if you really want to, it's on Desura and Indie Game Stand too.
Okay, and we'll get links for those in the YouTube description as well.
There's lots of Russian torrenting sites too that if
Yeah, it's crazy how fast those guys get onto stuff. Even nothing indie games, they still pirate right away.
Oh yeah, Russians. They have stuff super cheap over there, but if they can get it for free, they will get it for free. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, the soundtrack. If anyone's interested in the soundtrack, it's also available for free. You can get it on Bandcamp, or if you just go to eternumgame.com, there's a link there. It was just recently involved in the groupies.com gaming bundle thing, so that sold pretty well, and so should be a lot of people out there with that soundtrack in their inventory. Hopefully they'll come check the game out too. But yeah, the soundtrack's free. You know, it's I think all the hard copies are gone, so we don't have any more of those to sell. But yeah, so there's that. Oh, and I also have another. Is it plug time?
Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
why not?
I've got my main music project. My main thing I do is I write. I pretty much write music for 80s movies that don't exist. Like so, in the way of like, you know, like Perturbator did in Hotline Miami, and you know, Kavinsky and stuff like that. It's more of a, you know, rhythm oriented like retro synthesizer stuff.
And that's kind of like Michael Mann stuff, like.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Michael Mann's one of dude. I can go on forever about Michael Mann movies. I just watched this movie called The Keep not too long ago. I'm just absolutely in love with now. But yeah, really, like, so it's just more, you know, serious stuff, I guess. No chiptune stuff really involved. But that goes under the name Street Cleaner, because and that's street-cleaner.com, or you could just Google Street Cleaner. It'll be on the front page there of Google results.
Yeah. Okay.
We have a question in chat asking if you guys have any plans for a Steam release through Greenlight or some such.
Yeah, so that's the whole big rant. Because, like, yeah, it would be great if the game were on Steam, but since the whole Greenlight thing, because it's $100 to enter the game.
Oh.
And that's really because you have to purchase Greenlight access. So that's $100, which they give to charity, which is nice. But it's still $100, and for a game that hasn't even made that much.
Okay.
Plus the fact that, like, if I could make it back, maybe, but there's basically zero chance that a game like this will pass through Greenlight. Just knowing how people on Greenlight are, it's not going to happen.
Okay.
So maybe when I get to the next game, and I start going through Greenlight on that, because that'll have a much better chance. Since I can put as many games as I want up, I'll go ahead and put Aeternum up and just see what happens.
Okay. No, that sounds perfectly sensible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely Greenlight is interesting.
Yeah. I'm sure if, like, you know, if you know, 75 copies sold on Humble Store like today, you know, then boom, let's go through with it. But it's trickling.
There we go. All right, everyone on YouTube, everyone, go get the game. We might get it on Steam. How about that?
Get the game. Get it. Yeah.
Yeah, online scores would be nice.
Yeah, heck yeah. Be awesome.
Not just Jamers, the shmup god.
Yeah, seriously.
That guy. Jamers. That's cool. It's cool he helped you out, though.
Yeah, that's great.
Jamers.
I was really thankful for that.
As far as people to give feedback go, he's probably one of the most qualified. So.
Yeah, you got the right guy testing your game for sure.
Yeah, ask him about his prize package sometime. See if he'll put you in on it.
Ooh. Okay, Gamers, we're gonna ask you about that.
He's like, I don't remember. I have
Was
no
it
idea.
Dakimakura of the Bike Girl?
Oh, how about a bicycle seat of her face?
No, the back of the pillows is like the back. Oh, never mind.
Aquas, come on! You can't tell it. You gotta tell us. What did you want?
Well,
Is there a Japanese vending machine for used bicycle seats too? Or?
Yes.
The bicycle. Yeah, used bicycle seat power up.
Yeah.
I think it's such a funny character, and I'm glad you mentioned the Earthbound reference because I'm a huge Earthbound fan.
Yeah, I really love that game.
Series. It's influenced my life in more than a few ways. That series. So it definitely has a special place for me. So whenever I hear that, yeah, he like get the Earthbound reference in there. I'm happy because Mother Series is awesome. I mean, it's so awesome. I could do Mother Series and STG Weekly. It's that
Awesome game replay.
Yeah, awesome game
awesome
replay.
game replay. Earthbound speedrun. It's pretty good stuff. Anyway, I think we're wrapping up the episode since I'm talking about Earthbound now.
Yeah.
Yeah, once Earthbound comes into the conversation, you know that it's kind of time.
Yeah, where do you go from there?
Yeah, where do you go? You already reached pinnacle.
The next game, you guys should just do a fully Earthbound inspired shmup. Actually, I think I've seen one, just like just some random crap one, but think about it.
No, there's games coming. We got a lot of stuff going on, and Brooks and I are pushing each other to get something going, and there's a lot more shooter stuff coming out of Wasted Brilliance. I'd like it sooner than later. There's always the hang-ups on. I think we covered that earlier. But
yeah. I'd love to see what else you guys can come up with because Aeternum. I think it's a really great first game.
Yeah.
Is it the first game you pretty much are doing the selling and
First release
stuff?
game, yeah.
Yeah, first published game.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I mean, I like the simple aspects of it. I think that's definitely a great aspect of it. But I think you got a great foundation for future games. So best of luck to you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
So I think we should wrap up the episode, I suppose. Any final thoughts from people or anything?
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on for this and for sticking with all the technical difficulties and everything, and thank you to everyone watching. Thank you for sticking around. That was probably the worst technical difficulties we have ever had on STG Weekly, and that's really saying something.
I'll try to tidy it up on the recording, and I think we'll get a good product hopefully. So
I
think we're okay there.
Hard to do there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was really cool.
Thanks for having me. Honestly, this is awesome. A really good experience for me, and I can't speak for Brooke.
No, I've been wanting to do this actually because I've been a big fan of the STG Weekly since it started.
Wow, thank you guys.
Thank you.
And
Thank
you
you.
received the honor of having the most technical difficulties.
Yeah, the dubious honor. Yeah. No, literally though, while I was working on stuff, I would have STG Weekly episodes on the other screen in the background.
Oh,
Wow.
that's awesome.
So having the most technical difficulties, does Brooks get a little annotation next to his name on the forums, or?
Yeah, we can do that. We can put a little asterisk.
Current record. When will it be beaten this time?
We should take that sound clip of. I would hope that's recorded. Like we're gonna start on time.
That was amazing.
Like the prelude.
Yeah, just
like the prelude,
like,
fade out, and then fade into technical difficulties.
Yeah, and have it always playing over, like when it starts again. Like, oh,
Hey! I did not do it. Okay, I paid for my sins early on.
We'll just play that over.
Cool. All right, that's gonna do it for STG Weekly, episode number 65, second episode of the Indie Month. We'll be talking with other indie developers for the rest of the month. 3 more episodes should be coming up, and So let's see. I think next is we're gonna be talking with Mommy's Best Games for Shoot One Up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nathan Fout's always a friend.
Awesome. And
He's
then,
actually the
also,
guy.
Go
I
ahead.
sent a very early build of Aeternum to him. He was really helpful.
That's really cool.
And then also we're going to be trying to schedule mice with Twin Tiger Shark and what was the last one? I had it and now I forgot. Derp.
Tiger Shark. Sweet. Snops?
Yeah,
games?
Snops.
Snops.
Yeah, Snops games with when Snops attack it, or I think Snops attack is the name of the game. So yeah, that's it. That's it for the show. So thanks everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, everyone.
See you guys.
See ya.
We're out.
You guys.
Woot woot.